Welcome to a short Fire Emblem summoning session. It's been quite a while since the last video I've made. There's been just summoner duels, no banners that I originally thought that came out that I was going to summon on, but then I did spend like 20 summons on the double special hero banner that came out recently. And for this video, I'm just gonna do my free summons on these 3 banners because I just want to get out something before the end of the year. Because I'm definitely gonna summon on the end of year banner with all the reruns of Choose Your Legends and the new emblem ring, and it's got a really good list. So I'm gonna just do these quick summons. I'm gonna do my free summon, my tickets. I might just pull on this entire ring, see what I can get. So I would like a Mortis. I don't really want a Lear and a Hortensia. It's just decent support. I really hate summoning on this, but the chance of getting something good on this ring, 3%, I don't want to deny it. I would like a Lear, because I would like to have a fodder. Actually, no, not really. And then now, the book 7? No, it's 9. Book 9 new heroes? I want a Hector. I wouldn't mind a Layla. And same with Rune. Not really for fodder, just kind of more light Mythic merges. But since we got the end of the December rerun CYL banner, as well as what's it called, with Sigurd rerun and others as well, so I'm just gonna save more for there. And so for that, I'm not gonna go for a spark, because if I were to pull in this banner for the spark, I wouldn't even do full circles. I would just do colors and red sniping. If that's not the case, we're just gonna do the free summons, the tickets, and any reds, because we have 4-star demote on this banner as well. And Hector is just really good as a armored unit. James a fire save, but we got stone terrain and a distant counter echo, and an attuned skill, and bulwark as well. Double Hayatos. Never seen that one before. Go for the third one. Triple Hayatos. 4-star, 3-star, 4-star. Man, if only there's a 5-star focus in there. Oh, come on, Hector. Why you gotta give me so many reds? Those are 8 orbs each. Yeah, I'm trying to get a Hector. Or free summon a Hector with these tickets. I did pull a free Luciano on the previous Forging Bonds banner that came out, and I was aiming for Yahtzee. I don't know how to say her name. The rearmed Giant Axe unit, but I got Liana instead, and that's fine. You know, I wasn't really aiming for her. Last summon 4.2. Bummer. Uh, 3.5% is not really that much. I would like to save my orbs for at least I have like 100 roughly saved up right now in the mailbox. The banner's not gonna last that. Let's just keep summoning. Hopefully I can break pity real quick. I really don't want to keep summoning. I think last time it took me like 100 orbs, something like that, to get a focus unit. And that was quite bad. Now it's 8%, this is 3%, so this is all last second, just so I can buffer the video just a little bit. I do have something planned afterwards. Alright, well, that's it. That's the banner. Hold a second, another Diamant. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack, defense, finish with time pulse fodder. That's all it's gonna be for. That was what, 20 orbs? Not like 15, I think. So I did mention that I wanted to do some unit showcases. I'm also gonna take the time to do some of my units showcase. I have built many throughout the year, and I think it's in due time to showcase some of them. This might be the closest I'll ever do to a barrack showcase. I do have a fair amount of units that I just kind of zoomed right on through. Like, I have plenty of units, but these are the ones that I think are the most interesting with unique builds that aren't as cookie cutter as you ever. The first up, I got my Lysithea with her only got +1 merch so far. I'm not really trying to get as many merches, but if I do, then I'll just keep building her up. Same with flowers. Empty flowers are sort of difficult to come by, so I rested for my god like reflex units or those type of builds where every stat matters, especially speed, defense, and HP and attack. So I got her just Moonbow. I haven't gotten her a good special yet. Flare you don't really want. Astro and Moonbow are kind of better candidates. Let's do an AoE special if you give her enough support. I gave her Virtual Death, Resonance 4, Time Pulse 3 was all I can give her at the moment. I haven't gone 4, she doesn't really need 4, 3, those I can get away with. She already has Warping or Oath in her weapons, so she doesn't need attack speed of 4 or infinite follow-up. And sometimes I'll give her time pulse, pulse support, like cooldown support, acceleration support. Give her an AoE special, and then just Virtual Death plus Life of Death, and then we just become AoE build. That's my Lysithea, not too crazy. I gave her one of my many Emblem Celicas that I pulled, just because I thought Resonance goes really well with her, because she already does 1 point of damage already, and cares about being low, or cares about being less than 100%. Resonance cares about losing more health to get more percent DR. So this is kind of synergistic already as is. Next up, I have my Mirabilis that I got as a free summon on their debut spring banner. I sort of messed up when I gave her. I used a attuned peony from my fodder factory, and I gave her Soaring Guidance, Attack with Echo, Rock Slide Dance, Attack Sabotage, AR3, and Stillwater 4. But it turns out you can't use the attuned skill with their special dance, so I had to just. I really wish I gave her Fire Song Dance instead of Rock Slide Dance, because nowadays there's so much DR piercing, non-special DR piercing. You can't really run away with Rock Slide Dance where compared to Firestorm Song Dance, which is just Desperation Attack and speed of I believe 6. It's much more impactful, a better dance skill you can give to your dancers. Soaring Guidance is always good, and she's got trying to just give her the most visible DR possible, because that visible DR translates to flat DR, 20% of that, so that's kind of what I was aiming for. So either Defensive Express Catch or Stillwater. And sometimes you do Sabotage, AR3 instead of Dance skill. She gets Bones Doubler in her unique dance anyways, and I'd rather use Spring Dance instead of Dose Echo, so it was a little bit of an accidental errance there. After that, I got my duo Dorothea. Originally I didn't intend to build her up, but her duo skill of giving another unit from the same tiles and another action is really good in summoner duels because she's also a dancer, so she covers two niches, being action economy and a dancer, and as well as a warp beacon. So she's got a regular dance. She doesn't have any unique dances, which allows her to use any echo skill. I gave her an attuned peony, so that's why she has a Oath Echo. She came with defense res hold, I believe, but she's running Flirt Sparrow, Fire Emblem Dance 3, and Soaring Guidance. Oath Echo is what skies damage, because sometimes she might need to be able to actually deal damage to pick up a kill. So Flirt Sparrow, this is before we had all the Breath of Life 4 support coming out and similar effects in the game. So nowadays Flirt Sparrow, pre-combat burn damage, I don't really want to be using, but at the moment when I built her up, it was the best A skill for flyers and cabs. She had that going for her. Firestorm Dance 3, which is just attack speed, cancel inspiration, which helps in summoner duels. Weapon that, slight little debuffs to enemies, but it doesn't really matter too much, as is mostly used for her support of warping with guidance, and as well as extra butt the dance with Firestorm songs, which really helped out the attackers on the same team she was paired up with. Similarly, we have Thor, Duo Thor. She took forever to pull. I think I pulled 5 Duo Cordelias and 1 Thor. I'm pretty sure she took almost like 500 orbs. That's on that video that came out. And I gotta say, Duo Thor, she is still a really good unit, even with all the new units that have been released. From the initial release of Duo Thor till now, she has a very unique niche that no one's been able to replicate. And the fact that she gives stall exposure to the closest enemy, and her button that just removes any buffs and debuffs, or just any buffs, bonuses on enemy units in 5 and 5 columns. So that a little bonus of gravity and cardinal directions of her. She's got slang in her weapon and like pulse effects every turn. So she'll eventually get her AoE special ready. Also got, she came with Stillwater 4, but I gave her Remote Sparrow and Attack Speed Unity, because they were just for, we had initially used a Tana, a rearmed Tana, to give her Guidance 4, Defense for Smoke 4, and Unity plus Remote Sparrow. So didn't have anything better to duplicate with her at the time. And then afterwards I gave her an Attuned Ivy, and that's where she got the Soaring Echo from, Breath of Life 4, Attack Rest Far Trace 4, well, Deadly Miasma, because sometimes if I want Loki to be more, Thor, more supportive, then I would do the Breath of Life and Soaring Guidance and Soaring Echo. And other times when I need her to be with an armor team, with an armored unit or near a far save, and I would change it to either Guidance and Soaring Guidance, so like armored units, because Soaring Echo just only works for flyers and infantries, whereas Guidance is infantry and armors. Alternatively, if I need all a pure offensive, I would do Stillwater, Far Trace, and Deadly Miasma. Even if I Smoke 4 can, if I need the Pathfinder effect, which almost never really happens because every time I do a Thor attacks, it's near the end of the turn, so you can't really utilize the Pathfinder from that Defense Smoke 4. Or 3. Technically, it's Defense Smoke 3, but it kind of feels like a tier 4 skill. After which I have my male Shez. When he first released, he got was kind of like all the hype and all the talk about how good of a unit he is, and he was one of the free-to-play units that had Brave, but that was speed-based because at the time horror and so mine's initially my budget build was just speed red smoke 4, dive bombs 3, attack speed solo. It worked fairly well. And afterwards, I was able to get speed defense range snap. His +1 movement's really good on him. Layered Sparrow, because again pre-combat damage was viable and not as viable now because of like Breath of Life 4 running around. This version 4 was my weaker, like my comparison to Dive Bombs 4 or aerial maneuvers, which only came out on one unit, and I still think that's true. I think it's legendary Valencia. So, and I've not been able to get her, so I've been able to do aerial maneuvers is much better. Because aerial maneuvers, I would probably do aerial maneuvers instead of Desperation 4, and then instead of Snap, do Soaring Guidance or Guidance. And yeah, ooh, what? Oh right, I used the APO, and she does have Soaring Echo, but I gave Speed Defense Snap 4 because I didn't have the aerial maneuvers. That this is more of an independent unit, not really a Soaring Guidance beacon in my case, but he can definitely become one. And of course, No Quarter was one of the better specials that came out instead of Up to the Sky, because it gives UR piercing. I believe so, right? Specials, yeah, it's UR piercing, and you know, it seems a really good idea at the moment. Next up, Garrick. I really did. I met Garrick was a little bit weird. So initially I had him as a free to play, really budget build, which was just bonus doubler, even pulse tie, or even sudden panic, and then just infantry pulse 3. Which, I mean, it's still viable. Because really, what he's about is this refined weapon that just gives him, or not even him, but his team, special acceleration, which is still really nice even nowadays. But of course, I also paired up with godlike reflexes, but I don't have enough independent special acceleration to get it going, so I have to go with the Marth Ring, or I have to do Quick Impulse as Sacred Seal. I initially had Vital Astra, but in Summer Duel there's too much DUR piercing, or not. I mean, not DUR piercing. Yeah, DUR piercing, and Vital Astra is not defensive. It's an offensive special, and he would always get attacked, and he would just die because Vital Astra wouldn't activate. So I had to switch to. I had to give him godlike reflexes so he had a higher chance of surviving, but even now it's still not enough because every nuke just hits way too hard. For example, Brave Felix, Sigurd, Emblem Sigurd, they just annihilate most of the older units. They're a little more difficult to use. And of course I have even Pulse Tie still. It's kind of more, still doing the support role, but he has some skills that help him act independent if he needs to be a fighter, or give him a fighting chance at very least. But more than I think, Infantry Pulse 4, Infantry Pulse 3, but it includes him as well, so that's why you need the Infantry Pulse 4. Bonus Doubler to help out with his stat boost in his weapon, and also give him to his allies, and he's got bonus doubler 4 built in as well, but it stacks with different bonus doublers, so he gets a bunch of additional stats if the opponent is running low. After which I have Duo Asker, which I would probably say is still one of the better units because no one necessarily does what he does, but for all units, we have Duo Alphonse, which is just for infantry units, and he's not as great compared to Duo Asker, which does it to all, and has a unique skill, which also does special acceleration. I didn't really have him invested until recently, where I gave him a tuned Erica, gave him 4 points to lose friend, mostly disrupt, because as a range unit, Flash kind of destroys him because he won't have a chance to counterattack. And I didn't realize that I couldn't use Nullsea Disrupt as long as I had Open Domain, because he doesn't have unique special or an assist skill, so I thought I was safe, but I forgot that Open Domain is a unique skill, so you can't run that and a attuned skill. So at some point in the future, I'm thinking of replacing Open Domain with Breath of Life 4 and then giving him equipping the Nullsea Disrupts attuned skill, which then I think just allows him to become more survivable, because currently he has a good amount of defense, but not enough to survive. I think it's the AoE of Emblem Sigurd. I mean, yeah, with the outside support of Breath of Life 4, it gives him a lot less health if you compare it to if he was equipped with it himself. So that's something I want to do, is give him Breath of Life 4. He can actually survive the AoEs. Next up, I am my duo Cordelia, where I got to +5. So yeah, this was the around the same time I got my first copy. I can't believe I still remember this. I got my first copy when the duo Asker, when they were sharing. I think it was like beginning of 2023. I believe it was that beginning of 2023 when they had the New Year's banner. And they were rerunning Cordelia and Duo Asker. I just started this account, and both things were really good. Afterwards, she came back with Duo Thor, and I really wanted to Duo Thor, but I kept pulling Duo Cordelia. So much so that I got five more copies or 6 copies. I can't remember how many I got. It was ridiculous, but in the end, she went through multiple iterations. I have a Aether Raids build, which is just Wings of Mercy and Gale Force, but I also have a Summoner Duels build. It's Flared Sparrow, No Quarter, Desperation, Guidance, and Deathblow. Nothing really too special. She doesn't really deal that much damage. I gave her Unity because I paired it up with with Legendary Robin, so that I would Unity stack and therefore also try to do Dual Strike. And we also have Breath, aka +1 charge, +1 charge per attack. So Desperation, first hit it would charge up No Quarter, second hit with Desperation, I mean Dual Strike or Desperation hit would be No Quarter damage, and then if it was Dual Strike, then it'd be back to charging. It'd go back up to 2, go back down to 0 on third hit, and the fourth would be a second No Quarter. It's an alright unit. I don't think she's as good as I feel like most units that came out recently. She's gotten pretty power corrupt. I'm not really gonna aim for more merges. It's just accidental. Okay, I just have this last batch of units. We've gone quite a bit. After which we got Arian? Very sure it's Arian. I got Arian, and he's a really nice unit because he's pretty much a pseudo legendary Hinoka, which he gives charge to flyers, and he himself, I think he has Iot Shield, so he's not really that vulnerable to as compared to other flyers, not as vulnerable to bows as compared to other flyers. And I sort of made him to a Warp Beacon, but at the time his only attack was Echo and Darting Blow? No, Death Blow Echo. And I used the Peony because at the time she was the only one that I have built up more and more copies, because I think it was I think we had the green dream banners when I built up my Arian. Got them up to max merges. And did guard bearing 4 to pretty much survive enemy phase because he had a bunch of defense, bunch of decent speed. Not enough to outspeed any current units, but back when he was out, it was enough to sneak in a double or outspeed other users. And but nowadays, I don't think he's as good anymore. In my opinion, I think the new unit that just came out, what's her name, Vanessa? No. Where is she? Vida. Vida could be a really nice candidate, alternative candidate to what everyone wants to do, but no one else can do what he does besides Legend Hinoka, and he's free to play, so he's also a really good unit to build up for flyer teams, because giving out charge to your flyers is super nice. I mean, you just slowly build them up. I think you can get guard bearing 4 from Divine 5 codes fairly easy. So he's not too hard to build up, but also not too easy. After which I got my Cynthia. I'm still merging up. I'm not sure if I want to finish merging up or I want to spend my heroic grails on a newer unit. But she's very interesting because she has Wings of Mercy built in her weapon, as well as Unity. Air Rupture Sky, really simple build. Attack speed, Unity, Desperation, Guidance. This is just because I don't want... There's some little counter synergies with Duo Cordelia and Legendary Robin. So I decided to build up Cynthia so that they can be paired together, so that there's triple Unity, one in their weapon, one in their A slot, and then Grand Strategy that Legendary Robin shares, and then -7 with a lot of attack and speed that you can potentially gain when paired up on the same team. Desperation 4 was, again, the only skill I had on my rearmed Katana. There wasn't really much options, so that's all she had, and I think this is still a pretty good build for what she does. Doesn't have that much good base speed, but with the merges and dragon flowers and then the triple Unity, but she gets 14 for each, and there's gonna be 3 cases, so at the bare minimum, that's what, for 28 plus 7, because the first one gets negated by the -7, so 7 plus 14 plus 14, 28 plus 7. It's 35, so she gets 35 attack and speed, if my math is right, just by Unity, triple Unity. And that's not including the bonuses or weapon, the desperation. But yeah, she gets fairly fast and it's fairly hard with Legendary Robin. Speaking of Legendary Robin, I got my Fallen Ike. Wasn't really planning on building him up. I originally had him for Repel fodder for Repel 4, but I kind of just pulled the trigger and decided to build up turn him into a God Sword when you guys were finding out, because he had the -2. Essentially, he had, was it Rally Spectrum built in, but it only works on the offensive special, which doesn't work with godlike reflexes. And I Mayhem Maker's not really that great of a special anymore. It's too long and doesn't have anything crazy or beneficial or strong compared to Godlike Reflexes before Gust came out. But as you see, I gave him a attuned Erica for Null Sea Disrupt. That's what he really needed. I had, let's see, Null Sea Disrupt 4 because I didn't have any Legoose Friend 4 fodder at the time. And I gave him Attack Speed Unity because I think he also had that in his weapon, yeah. And then you pair that up with Legendary Robin, so it's another triple Unity unit. And I just gave him Infantry Pulse 4 because I didn't know what else to give him. I think I used a rearmed Ganglot that I built up that has an assortment of skills. Nothing really too synergistic, but I just gave him 4 skills: Reflexes, Unity, Time Pulse 4. No, Null Sea Disrupt, Time Pulse 4, and Free Pulse 4. So those are my skills, and afterwards he wasn't really doing anything because he didn't have enough cooldown support. In which case I had to give him Legoose Friend 4 and Null Sea Disrupt, and that really patched up his issues and turned him to a complete unit. But he definitely needs the merges, and until he gets more merges, I'm not gonna give him any flowers. It's gonna keep him 1-1. Might not see as much potential because nothing really beats Brave Felix and Fallen Ike at roughly no merge essentially. It's not even a contender. And then finally I built up Valadar for when he came out because he had a really unique weapon which was turning all penalties into pretty much pure flat damage. Pure flat damage. But it really mattered on the penalties on your opponents. You had to put on a team that can give the enemy units debuffs. And it seemed really cool and fun, but in practice it wasn't really that great because most units didn't have enough penalties to be able to secure a kill. And even with Flare as a special, I gave him Unity, Res Finish, Special Battle 4, Time Pulse 4 to loop Flare. He wasn't really able to survive most of the hits as his base, as minimum merges. So he really pretty much died off real quick in my barracks. I might fodder him away for these 5 skills and not build them up anymore because I'm running out of heroic rails. I have Valadar, I have Cynthia, I have Melchez. I have more in my barracks that I would like to build up and not enough grails to finish merging them up, so that's definitely an issue that I'm gonna have to just slowly pick on one, and I just have to forget about the others. But that's roughly my barrack showcase that I wanted to do, and I'm thinking maybe this is how I want to take this, kind of acts as a test run on unit reviews. Not really sure how I want to go about it, and even this format and how I did it might not be as entertaining or even that good, but I really would like to hear feedback. And I know some extra short, but again, I'm saving orbs, and I'll definitely do a video on my polls at the end of month banner, and hopefully I can get that video out before the year ends, because I'm pretty sure the banner comes out 2 or 3 days before this month ends, which will be the end of the year, so we're going to be a little bit tight on time. But again, that's all for now. I'm going to get that video recorded when the banner drops, and hopefully get it out before the year ends, because I don't want that video to be the first video of the new year. So I'll keep it all in one time frame, in 1 year span. And thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about my unit showcase that I slightly did. Also the breakdown, explanation, thought process, reason behind the skills, and explanations and like what they do. And yes, I'll see you next time. Take care.